up, guys? Everything football here. It's a new year and a new decade, and so that we're bringing you the best 11 of the 2010 to 2019 decade. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Our number one is Manuel Neuer. He won the Golden Glove in the 2014 World Cup for Germany. He also won the World Cup and was very influential for Germany for that win. He also revolutionized the position of sweeper keeper and is amazing with the ball at his feet, which has also influenced the great goalkeepers of right now, Ederson, Alisson, and Ter Stegen. He's a Bayern Munich legend and a German legend. He's an amazing captain and he's a leader of men. He won the Champions League and won the Bundesliga many times and the DFB Pokal. He was ranked third in the Ballon d'Or in 2014 and has made over 610 Bundesliga saves.
Starting off the defense in the right back position, we have the one and only Dani Alves, the most decorated player in history with 40 trophies with club and country. He's Barcelona's legendary right back, part of their historic second treble in the 2014 and 2015 season, and he's also exceptional for Brazil, captaining the team to a Copa America win in 2019, even at a high age of 35. He was also one of the best players in that Copa America.
Our first center half is Gerard Piqué. He dominated the world with Spain from 2010 to 2012, this decade, and has been the most influential defender for Barcelona this decade, and is a homegrown talent from La Masia. He is considered one of the best center halves in the world, and he brings together class, character, strength, and air as center back, something that has made him a key figure in the Barca team this decade. He has won 76% of the tackles and has 91% pass rate success.
So, for Gerard Piqué's partner in crime, the very definition of fair play, the one and only Sergio Ramos. In the summer of 2005, Ramos was purchased by Madrid for 27 million euros, which is a bargain in this day and age. But back then, 15 years ago, that was a record for a Spanish defender. He captains both Real Madrid and Spain, and he's captained Madrid to 3 straight Champions League wins, the only 3 straight Champions League wins this decade. And he's won 4 total Champions Leagues this decade. He was a key figure in the golden generation of Spain from 2010 to 2012, along with Gerard Piqué, winning the World Cup and the Euros in this decade.
Next up, we have Marcelo for our left back position. Marcelo was known as the heir to the throne of Roberto Carlos for both Real Madrid and for Brazil. And I would say Marcelo lived up to it. He was amazing throughout the decade. His defensive and attacking attributes, his assists, his shots blocked. He's just been amazing, a key player for Real Madrid and Brazil. And he assisted Bale's legendary bicycle kick in the Champions League final in 2018. And he's been influential to all of Real Madrid Champions League wins this decade.
Now, starting off in the midfield, we're about to start then Andres Iniesta hit the ground running at the start of the decade, scoring the winning World Cup 2010 goal in the 116th minute against the Dutch. Both teams were in their first ever World Cup final, and Spain ended up winning for the very first time. Iniesta's 116th minute goal was also the latest goal in World Cup final history. He's been the most influential midfielder this decade, captaining Barcelona from 2015 to 2018, also being part of their legendary treble-winning season in 2015. He dominated the midfield with Busquets and Xavi for both club and country, and he's one of, if not the greatest Spanish midfielder to ever grace the game of football.
Get out.
I hate you, dude.
Yeah, put a kid right here.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
No, let's cut this part out.
Yeah.
I need to be calm.
Yeah. Ready?
Let's go.
Next up, for Iniesta's partner in crime. I can't read.
It's in the bathroom.
Stop. So leave that. Next up, in our CDM position, we have Sergio Busquets. He is the greatest pivot of the decade and is is arguably the greatest in the history of the sport. He is one of the most underrated players in the Barca team and has been influential for them throughout the decade. Busquets has been doing all the dirty work behind the scenes for Barca, and without them, Barcelona could not have won any La Ligas and any Champions League. No cap. And he vice captains Barcelona this season and challenges Iniesta for being the best Spanish defender to ever grace the game. And he was part of Spain's golden generation that totally dominated world football in the start of the decade.
Now, closing out the midfield, we have Luka Modric. He is the most important and the greatest player in the history of the Croatian national football team. He captained Croatia to the very first World Cup final in 2018 and won the Golden Ball in that World Cup for being the greatest player. He also won the FIFA The Best Award in 2018 and the UEFA Best Player of the Year Award in 2018. However, his biggest accomplishment in that year was ending the Messi-Ronaldo era of dominance in the Ballon d'Or when he won the Ballon d'Or in 2018. However, his form unfortunately dipped along with the rest of his Madrid teammates in the 2018 and 2019 season. However, his performances in the rest of the decade easily are what got him into this spot in the team.
Next up, we have our front three. And our right wing spot goes to Lionel Messi. Who else? He is unarguably the greatest player of this decade. And he scored 91 goals in a single calendar year, overcoming Jared Muller in 2012. He is the first player to win 4 Ballon d'Ors, 5 Ballon d'Ors, and 6 Ballon d'Ors. He is Argentina's and Barcelona's top scorer, and currently captains Barcelona. And he's carried Argentina to 3 consecutive finals this decade, and is the greatest direct free kick taker with 34, and has 14 more than second place Cristiano Ronaldo. He's the greatest dribbler and greatest passer of the ball in footballing history, and has the most European golden shoe wins.
Now, the striker position. Now, for this, it was a difficult choice between Robert Lewandowski and Luis Suarez. But Suarez ended up eating Robert Lewandowski, so there was no room for him on the team. But in all seriousness, Suarez's trophy collection and influence on the game put him on another level compared to Robert Lewandowski. Luis Suarez is one of the greatest strikers of this decade. So, he won the 2013-14 and the 2015-16 Golden Boot and assisted Messi the most. Messi and Suarez are one of the greatest footballing duos of the decade and maybe even in history. He's the top scorer for the Uruguay national team with 59 goals in 113 caps. He scored 113 league goals out of 179 appearances for Barca, 69 league goals out of 110 appearances for Liverpool, and 81 league goals out of 110 appearances for Ajax. He's the most influential Uruguayan this decade, without any doubt.
Next up here, our left wing spot. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, Real Madrid's and Portugal's top scorer. He's only been in Real Madrid for 9 years, and he's overcome Raul, who's been there for over 14 as Real Madrid's top scorer. He has the most goals for an international team with 99 goals for Portugal, and is a Champions League goal scorer, and has 4 Champions League winner medals this decade and 5 total. And 5 is the most amount of wins a player has ever had, and it's Cristiano Ronaldo. He scored 311 league goals in 292 appearances for Real Madrid. He's guided Portugal to its first ever international trophy. Well, that's our 11 for this decade. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more content like this. Comment down below who your best 11 is, and see you guys next time. Peace.